Alrighty. Alright, no, that, what's the name is not synced. So, 1 second. There we go. Might just, disable that. As much as I like the jump animations, it's not, I don't think Glacian's gonna be able to handle it anymore. What's up, it's me, Neo Mage. No, you're not imagining things. I am taking a break from DBD. Like I did on Monday's stream, I took a break. Mainly because I'm gonna wait. I really want to stream DBD when after the mid chapter patch comes out. I don't know how things are gonna be for the game, and if it starts feeling like the meta is gonna get too overly sweaty, I'm honestly just gonna say like how it is. I may just dip from the game as is. It's already a pain in the ass, stressful trying to play the game nowadays. Now it's getting to the point where I'm just done. I'm slowly getting burnt out, and I hate it because I do enjoy the game at times. It has been pretty much dumb fun, but nowadays it's getting to the point where it's just not even worth it. The game is a fucking mess because behavior will not fucking address cheaters. Console players like me and others on Xbox, PS, PlayStation, fucking Switch. I know there are Switch players. We all have to suffer because behavior doesn't want to address the problem because let's just face it, hackers are more or less buying the game, and if they aren't buying the game, they're just getting an account with the game on there. So you might as well just say it like how it is. Behavior gets the bag and doesn't give a single minute fuck about balance or nothing. They don't care about their game, they care about the money they're making off their game, and that has always been fact. And I'm hating how most people, anyone that wants to defend this company anymore. Yo, you are getting played, you are getting used and abused, you're getting hoed. And before you say the same thing about the current game I'm playing, at least Ubisoft's keeping it up to a degree. Both this and the first game. I'm actually doing a playthrough of it. For the YouTube channel. But again, for anyone watching, please don't be afraid to hit up chat. Got the chat on the secondary screen I got set up. Also, oh, let me get that monitor out of the way. Let me get that mouse out of the way. I also will. Actually, I know another thing I could do. I could just interface. There we go. Alright, gonna take the mouse off the screen. Alrighty, but full disclosure, like how I feel. This game at least I'm not linked with PC players it's a shame we couldn't get console crossplay. It'd be pretty damn awesome playing against PlayStation players, but whatever. Can't have it all, I guess. Kind of sucks, but whatever. The Division 2. I actually am thinking of just doing this stream just like how it says. It's going to be a hardcore agent run. To those that don't know, one of the things that they did later on, even though it says it's still in beta, I already know this shit is never going to get off of beta. I already got an agent already set up. Could keep going from here. Why not? Doesn't make that much of a big difference. But the difference between playing on to those that don't watch, don't play this game, difference between this and a regular agent. The if I get downed, I can't respawn. The agent is essentially dead for the entire game. I have to, if I want to play a hardcore agent again, I have to create a new agent. Or delete the agent and create a new agent. And I kind of like it. I honestly think it's a challenge, and to challenge myself even more. Solo, meaning solo, which means I'm not even gonna bother matchmaking. I make it really against this challenge idea. So we're gonna play all solo. We are not Alright, so far so good. Like how I feel. Is Dead by Daylight enjoyable? To a degree, I'm going to say yes, but it's also going to be to the point where it's more enjoyable if you're playing a custom game with friends. And do I think all the stuff they plan on doing, like the mode changes, will that make it more fun and enjoyable? It ain't going to solve the underlying issue. The underlying issue with Dead by Daylight is the fact that meta runs shit. And the main thing they need to address is the fact that behavior keeps on doing band-aid solutions for the fixes, like especially with perks. Like, let's look at like Made for This. It was released, and here's what survivors got when it was released. They got a free, and I do mean it, a free 3% haste that combined with hope, meaning your ass could stay injured in endgame and you gain 10% angst. It was nutty as shit. Um, that's what I was saying. Like, Made for This, even the solution for 3-genning, like, it's more of a punishment. Like, it's overkill, in my opinion. Like, I get it, but it's also going to be now where survivors can now hold the game hostage. The one change about the generator kicks and all that gen regression is the fact that now survivors actually have to spend time. They can't just tap a gen to stop a regression. And I like that because it forces now the survivors to literally, they have to spend a bit of time getting that 5% back. And I like the fact that we are getting like that gen kick, base gen kicks is now viable. But 8 regression events is stupid. It may just, I don't know. This is the problem with behavior. They never really explicitly tell it. They vaguely word it and aren't going into depth on it. Because I think they know this was a trash thing. Like, I would rather them be upfront and say the full extent. It would be a good bit of transparency. It would make it so that, hey, I know that, it would make me understand, hey, I know this shit is how it's supposed to be. You know? Or what does this update really truly do? What are they planning? The vague wording makes me think the following. They want us to do the idea work for them. They want us to tell them what's wrong with this update. And as much as that's a good thing, it's kind of like they need to be more. They need to change up a lot of things. They got to be more upfront and telling. Like, Save the Best for Last is a perk that I honestly say it like how it is, even though I'm not playing the game. Is it unhealthy? Yes, but that's because behavior could have just made one simple solution to it. Make it so that you lose stacks on special attacks. Special attacks and that's about it. But I get the solution they're going for. They also are taking into consideration that both the trapper traps and the drones, whatever, do cause damage. even though they're not a special attack. But it's also like, in my opinion, they also have to take into consideration now that they made a goofy little perk. What's the name? Lurk. The brain for a second. Essentially, like, the whole idea of save the best for last, what are they doing? What are they doing this time around? They're just making it set now when the obsession loses a health state, the killer loses stacks. What's bad about this is there's two perks in particular that can take away a survivor's health state by their own doing. If the obsession uses for the people, congratulations, that's an injure, and the killer didn't do shit. And, oh, they're injured. Well, now they can use plot twist, and look at that! Another health state gone. To me, I feel one of the things they could do to mitigate the whole idea of M2 killers not being able to taking advantage of this, they could just make it so that for every special attack on the obsession, they could do that. They could do that just like they did with play with your food. It wouldn't even be that much of a coding issue. They could copy and paste that bit of code. But no, they want to go overkill because, let's face it, that's been there. That's how they've always did this. I want to remind people when the anti-tunneling thing. In the beginning, what was the strongest perk before all the anti-tunneling measures were out? Fucking Circle of Healing. Even when it got its 75% nerf, the 75% speed nerf, it was still a potent, it was still, when what survivors are bringing that shit for? It was not for altruistic healing. That shit was for them self-caring. Because 75%, that is not slow enough. That's not a punishment for self-care. That literally is a joke because it literally is what we did when the self-care meta was a thing. And it's just goes to show. Then when they finally addressed it, survivors found some other things. Buckle up, made for the buckle up, made for the people. Buckle Up got its buff, and I will admit, I like it to a degree, but it's also creating another problem. It's now creating a combination that is so fucking oppressive, you might as well just say it like how it is. There's nothing the killer can do. There's barely anything the killer can do. You know? I think that's the sadder part when you stop and think about it. Um, alrighty. Honestly, like how I feel. It's just, do I think that Dead by Daylight is going to get any better? Is it going to become balanced, fair, whatever? Not really. Behavior can't even admit the fact that they make they don't fix things. They're not making improvements. They're making detriments. And the sad reality has always been that's been their game plan. Make a game with code, what mine was to say spaghetti code, and just collect the microtransaction bullshit. Collect the money. What the fuck are the consumers gonna do? Move on? We the only game in town. And I do appreciate like there is some competition with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even though they say they aren't trying to be like Dead by Daylight. It's an asymmetrical game. We need more games like that to pretty much force behavior to make it. Because I still remember what happened the moment the Evil Dead the game dropped. When that game dropped, behavior was so fucking shook. I think they got overconfident because the game did die down. That game died down. But I'm hoping TCM, knock on wood, comes an actual legitimate threat to Dead by Daylight. I do hope that mainly not because I'm an anti behavior, but it would force behavior to start upping their game. I think the sadder reality is behavior is trying to make the game competitive when, let's just face facts, 1v4 was never truly really a competitive thing. That's more for like a casual thing. That's like playing Smash Brothers. One team of four against one other player. The problem is behavior needs to start addressing the core fundamental issues of the game. The fact that solo that there's not a lot of viability for solo queue survivors. The fact that the meta for killer has to be where we have to be using perks that are and perk combinations that are busted to shit, or the fact that survivors keep on might as well say it, they're getting rewarded for playing like shit. The one change they made for this, the nerf, while many made bitch and moan about it, many survivor players bitch and moan about it. You know, I think it was a nice change. Instead of making the perk be free haste for playing sloppy, it's now, you could consider it's an endurance perk that gives you value when you're injured. You get haste when you desperately will need it when you are in the deep wound state, because again, this is when the killer can put you down and there's nothing you can do about it since enduring doesn't do shit against the deep wound state. So essentially, you might as well just say it like how it is. It was a nice change. Survivors bitched and moaned because their freebie perk, their freebie getaway perk became nerfed. And they didn't know how to react, they didn't know how to play. But honestly, like how I feel, it's a start. But again, the other thing I'm looking at is the fact that they're going overkill with a lot of the perk changes. The one thing I will say that isn't overkill, Grim Embrace was niche alone, but in truth, it was like, but in truth, it was literally that one perk from the artist that was so useless because it was a tokenable perk. You had to literally go out your way to hook all four survivors to get value. Now it's a perk where it is still a tokenable perk, but it's more now you get value over time for every time you earn a token. You know, that's the thing. And that's kind of how I always felt about it. Behavior has a bad track record with overcorrecting shit and not addressing the underlying issues. Or at least by the time they address them. Like how I truly feel about the game. Like, do I think behavior is slowly killing it or making it unbearable? To some degree, yeah, and I'm sorry, new game modes and new modifiers ain't gonna fix this shit. If the game is already a slog to play, and the fact is, the one thing they could have done, separate ranked and unranked. Instead of custom games being the unranked mode, they could just make it a casual mode. Make it so that make it so that the bigger changes for the game's meta stays in the ranked. Uh that's just my opinion. Like the game in the past was it enjoyable? It was more enjoyable before the skill-based matchmaking got introduced because it was like a little fun party like game. Win and lose, it didn't fucking matter. Like, yeah, I get dunked on. I got dunked on when I first started, and I didn't give a shit. Like, damn, it hurt when people insult me. Like, oh, you suck. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I started the game, but as I got used to playing the game and learning about it, it's one and stuck with it and improved. Um, oh, I don't know, man. Like, the sad part is burnout does happen. Like, nowadays, I don't even play. I don't like playing multiple matches anymore. Like, I play one or two matches, and if I end up having to DC because I'm getting frustrated, or fuck it, or Packers ruin the game, then I just fucking find something else to do. Like, the game has gotten to a point where it's so sweaty, and Behavior doesn't want to. They don't want to address it because that's what they want to start doing. They want to be they want the game to be competitive. So guess what's gonna happen? Sweat's gonna happen. There is no more casual play anymore, since it's all ranked. Oh, fuck's sake. I may have to end the stream early because my mother had to do something stupid. Why? It's icy. Don't fucking drive. Miss, I'm not gonna go out there bust my ass. Man, shit, damn it. Fuck.